Hey guys, in this lesson, we're going to look at solving quadratics. The first method we're going to use is factoring. First, I want to just a quick review on what we're talking about when we say solve a function. We're looking for the solution, which is where the graph crosses the x-axis. So these can also be called the zeros of the function, the roots of the function, and the x-intercepts. So they're all the same thing. They're all solutions. Okay, so let's get started. When we are solving by factoring, we need to set the entire function equal to 0. So if you have x's or constants on both sides, you got to move them all over to the left. And then we're going to look for those greatest common factors, difference of squares, all those things that we review in our review lessons that will be linked in Canvas. Okay, so here I can see both of these have an x in them. So I'm going to factor out an x. And then that will give me left an x plus 9 inside parentheses, and that equals 0. And then we know by the product rule, which I listed up here for you, anything multiplied by 0 is still going to equal 0. So we can set each one of these equal to 0, and that will tell us our solutions. Whoops, this should be x plus 9 equals 0. Okay, so on the left side, we can see that obviously x is going to equal 0. On the right side, for x plus 9 to equal 0, x would have to be negative 9. So you could put those in a solution set. You could say x equals, just remember these are your x values. Okay, so this is where your graph is going to cross the x-axis, which means x would be 0, y would be 0, and x would be negative 9, y would be 0. Okay. Okay, this next example we're going to look at is difference of squares. So when we factor that, first I'm going to double check. It equals 0 already, so I'm good to go. When we do difference of squares, right, we have to have the square root of x in the first spot, and then the square root of 4, or whatever that number is, in the second spot, and then 1 is plus and 1 is minus. This way, when we do FOIL, okay, those middle terms will cancel out, and we still end up with a minus 4. So now I can see, this will be my evidence, by the way, that's my factoring. I can see that this can equal negative 2 or positive 2. Okay, review those lessons on factoring if you need to, and then go ahead and try the check your understanding questions below. You can put your answers in the Wayground activity, and I'll see you in the next video.